Deja Brew again. We have another beer review from Ether Brewing, all the way in Queensland. We have their Black XBA, so first time we're doing a darker beer. I don't know too much about these guys, actually, so I'm kind of excited to just get stuck into it. It's in Northgate. I don't even know where that is. I'm up in Queensland in a few weeks, so maybe if it's nearby, I might pop in for a drop, but we'll see what this beer is like. Yeah, as usual, I have nice little fun facts that are just parading along throughout the video just over here. Yeah, last few videos I think have done pretty well, but I'm glad that we've got a dark one. We're getting some sirens, because Monaco Oval's just over there, and there's an AFLW game being played right now. I live very close to that, so that's very nice. Usually, especially when I go see the football. Usually I would be there, but yeah, today's been a bit full on. But let's stuck in. So let's get the can rip going. Okay. Not a lot of fizz, which you're expected with your darker beers. So with a Black XBA, it's kind of like a hybrid from your darker ales, where they obviously they cook the malts through, and you get a lot of that cooked malt flavor, and that's what gives it a darker texture. But they also add hops, and a significant amount of hops, at the end process to kind of give it that fruity texture. So it is kind of like a little bit of it's a weirder beer style that they've combined the two. So I should be really getting a fruity stout. The head on this is unbelievable. Oh my goodness gracious, look at that. The head on that's unbelievable. We haven't had a good can rip thus far from the three. Disappointed in the can rip, but that head is phenomenal. So I'm very, very excited to just tuck into this bad boy and get it going. We've got the Chalice of Destiny here that's helping us. And the cat's going nuts again. She just loves these things. Yeah, it's 1.5 standard drink, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Again, that's the hops coming through, so I'm expecting a bit of a juicier flavor to come through. Just with that higher alcohol content, it means that they've kind of let it cook a little bit longer. They've let it go a little bit longer. So we should get some fruitful flavors. But let's see. These sometimes can be a little bit hit and miss. Sometimes they're good and they get the balance really well from the roasted malt and the fruity flavors. And sometimes they sort of take one too far and the other one gets a bit lost. So let's find out what we're dealing with here. I usually smell it first, but I wanted to go straight in. It smells like malts, chestnuts on an open fire. The taste is interesting. Interesting. Okay, what are we dealing with here? Okay, it smells chestnuts, malts, wheat. The smells you really get from a stout. That's what I'm grabbing straight away. The taste, however, you get that lovely roasted malt flavor straight away from the beer. It then kind of goes away. You don't really get much of the fruit flavor that comes out of an XBA. I'm surprised at the alcohol content because of how little fruit flavor that I get from this. And I think it takes away from what is then good about the beer, and it is that lovely roasted malt flavor that comes straight through. This would be, I'd be very curious to try what their stout tastes like. I reckon it's absolutely amazing. It's a real like nutty roast flavor, and it's really delightful at the start, but then it just gets lost with this weird fruit flavor that isn't very strong. I wouldn't say weird, but there isn't really a strong fruit flavor to finish it off, and then it just dissipates and it goes. It's a very easy drink to drink. If you're just starting out on stouts, this might be a nice little starter for you, just to dip your toe in before it starts to get a bit too intense, because it is, if you're coming from the hazy worlds or the XBAs or the pale ales, there are familiar flavors in here that you can sort of lean on before you go all in on the stout world, but it's just a beer that's trying to do too many things, I think, for too many people. And in that way, it's not succeeding for everyone. And that, just do one thing well. This, I've not heard of this brewery, so I kind of feel a bit bad that I'm giving them a bit of a rough shake here. It's a good beer. Like, I don't want people watching this and saying, oh no, it's terrible. It's a good beer. I just feel like, and I wonder if they would agree, if it's just like, well, you know, it's kind of two. It's like when you get a hazy lager and it's like, just be one or the other. Just don't try to mix the two too much. There are some beers that do this quite well. There are others that do this quite poorly, and this probably sits right in the middle kind of run. Yeah. Yeah, this would go good food-wise. See, it's not bad. Like, it's not bad at all. I'm starting to warm up to it a little bit more. I think as it's getting a bit warmer too, some of the flavors are coming through. It's just right at that end bit. I just want it to be something else. It's not getting a bad score, but it's not getting a bad score. It'll get an okay score. It could be a bit better. Food-wise, what could I pair it with? Chicken schnitzel, fish, those sort of things. Things that would need a lemon, a little lemon drizzle on it. If you don't want the gravy and you don't want like a big tartar sauce and you just like a bit of lemon on it, if you pair that with this, that would go down very, very well. A bit of chips on the side, a little bit of a salad, because you got to keep the, you got to keep the partner happy. You got to have a little bit of the salad so then you can poop and stuff later. I think that would go very well with. This would go very well with food. I wouldn't bring this over for like a poker session or a drinking session with friends. It was on tap. I think it could be very good on tap. I think it could be very good straight from the cow's teat, but we don't have that. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty good to lock this in. By the way, I need to be... Look at this art on this can. I'll have it... Probably blow it up somewhere here, but... Unbelievable art on the can. So, Ether Black XPA, I'm going to give you 68 out of 100. I'm happy with that score. It's not in the 70s. It could do one or two things better to probably get there. Like I said, it's not bad beer. It's good. It's just... It's lacking. It's lacking a little je ne sais quoi. I like that places try this, but so don't by any means think that this is a terrible brewery. I'm very interested. I'd kind of like to maybe give them another chance and try find another beer there. I random every beer that I do these with, so I have absolutely no idea what's coming. So if I am in Queensland and I'm near this place, I don't know how far away it is from Brisbane. We'll find that out very shortly. I'm sure I've written it here like there's absolutely no chance. But maybe one day I could pop in, or I can get some other beers from the area just to give it a better shake. Because I have a feeling that they do some things very well there. And I think this is one of their more experimental beers. That it's like, oh yeah, let's put this together. And it's good, it's paid off, it's good, but I have a feeling they absolutely have a rip-snorting stout. Or a dark ale. I really do think. And it's quite a clean beer. That's the one thing I didn't mention. It's quite a clean finish. So I think everything else would be done quite well here. So, am I recommending this particular beer? If you like Black XPAs, or you're just looking to get in the stout world, it's a good start. It's a great start. If you're wanting something a little bit better, or you're wanting just a stout, or a bit better of a Black XPA, this is probably something you're going to miss. However, I would check out this brewery. I have no idea about them, but judging by how crisp and clean this beer is, and it definitely doesn't taste processed, it definitely tastes very refined in the flavors, and I think they've gone for exactly this. I think it's intentional, so a lot of my critiques are probably fair. Like, I think that they would probably agree with them. But you got to try things. Otherwise, you're just making the same beers every day. So I don't fault them for this beer at all. And like I said, 68 is a pretty good score. So yeah, anyway, that is the beer review. Ether Brewing, Black XPA. Yeah, I'm very curious to see if they pop up in this realm again. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Why not subscribe? I have one now. We have one. So would you like to be number 2? That would be good. That would move it along. That would give me a bit of energy. I'm in Wellington all next week, so the next few beer reviews will probably be live. They'll either be in a hotel or at a brewery itself. So that's kind of exciting. Going to mix it up there. Then I'm in Brisbane and Melbourne and Sydney for the next few weeks as well. So there will be lots of live beers as well on top of these ones that I do in the kitchen. That definitely needs a better clean than this. It needs a rearranging, that's for sure. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.